So we are presently underground. This is the bedrock, limestone, ancient ocean. And what we're at is we're at the entrance to what is called the Serapeum in Egypt, at the Saqqara site. The Serapeum contains 28 or 29 massive niches inside a tunnel system, and within at least 20 of those niches are massive stone boxes. The lid and the box combined, in each case, weighs upwards of 100 tons. And so I brought this in order to see how flat the surfaces are. And here we are. We are in the Serapeum underground. And these are the niches containing the massive boxes. So this is where you see the scale of these boxes that are so-called sarcophagi. However, this box could not have fit around this corner to get where it is. So that's one of the mysteries here at the Serapeum. Again, the box by itself weighs about 70 tons. And the lid, if there was one, would weigh probably at least 20 tons. And the stone is pink or rose granite that comes from Aswan, which is 500 miles away. So from this niche, we go down the hall, and here we have one with a lid. It's about 7 feet wide and at least 12 feet long. And as you can tell, it was not finished. And then we have this one here. So conventional Egyptologists say that these were the ceremonial burial places of prized Apis bulls. However, no bull was ever found inside of one of them.
Create the chambers and everything, and also align it with the North Magnet Pole. You know, there has to be a connection between this and the pyramid, because they are all also aligned with the North Magnet Pole. So I think of the Serapeum not just as a huge place on its own. I think of it as evidence that can tell us what kind of construction was laid underground. What kind of, when we see here advanced machining, megalithic pieces of stones and all these elements, alignment with the North Magnet Pole as well, then we know that the same mentality, the same knowledge that created this is the same one that created the pyramids. Right. And that we can think of this as the lower part or the underground part of the same complex. Absolutely. Which is another proof that the shafts and the tunnels at the Great Pyramid is nothing but an extension of the same structure.
The other amazing thing about these boxes is the lid and the box itself are cut from the same piece of stone. And engineer Chris Dunn believes that, in fact, the finishing work had to have been done underground because of stability of temperature. If it was done on the surface, the stone will expand and contract during the daytime. So possibly the block was actually moved underground, and then the carving was done. The problem with that is, how did they light this place? There is no evidence of soot or smoke on the ceiling or anywhere in here, and so it's unlikely that torches were used. So, did they have electricity? Mohammed, please explain what these things are.
You are talking with the box?
Yes.
Okay. This is a huge box, as you can see, made out of granite, most of it from granite, very few from diorite, and one from limestone. The famous story saying this is like a sarcophagus to bury the body of the holy bull, worshipped in the late time of Egypt by the Egyptians and the Greeks. That's why it got a Greek name called Serapis. But according to what we can see, that no mummy of a bull or skeleton or other stuff were found. It was all found empty. Only one was found intact, but according to Auguste Mariette only. And we don't know where are the things were inside. And Auguste Mariette used gunpowder to made his way inside the sarcophagus of the box. But as you can see, this box, how come it will serve a bull? Because it's still bigger, at least 4 times than a bull size.
Right.
So they used the modern explanation that this is a big size, bigger than the coffins we see in the Valley of the Kings tombs, to say the other sarcophagus for humans, but this big size for the bull.
Right.
Which it doesn't make sense, because if we put the bull, there will be a big space empty.
Right.
So it could be smaller. And why this size of the cover? And why the big size and the height of the box itself? And also, why different materials? Why they didn't make it all from limestone or all from granite?
And why did they make the lid? I mean, theoretically, the lid and the box are from the same piece of stone.
Yes, it's a must, because they believe that if it have magnetic field or power, it must be to be from the same thing, so they don't make any interruption in this magnetic field. So they cut a big piece of granite or even limestone, and from the back side of this piece they cut the cover or the lid. Okay?
Right.
That's why if any mistake will happen through cutting the lid, they're going to change the whole box. And there is a famous piece in the Egyptian Museum telling this. We call it unfinished box, because when they were cutting the cover, they break it into 2 halves. That's why they left it. They didn't care to continue finishing this, because they need to make the cover from the same piece of stone.
So this one we actually get to climb down and examine close up.
And the rose quartz has a higher rose quartz has a higher crystal, higher than the blackish gray. So they especially favor rose quartz.
So what you're looking at is quite a flat surface. Christopher Dunn is the one who discovered how accurate this stuff
This
is.
is dust. We put it again.
And what he found out, in fact, is that there are surfaces in at least one of these which is within 2/10,000ths of an inch of being laser flat. One theory that believes that the Giza pyramids and others in the area were actually part of an energy device of some kind, an acoustic or vibrational generator, and that these boxes could possibly have been either capacitors or batteries for storage of energy. But the thing is, what we're looking at is something we don't understand in the 21st century. We've always been led to believe that we are the greatest of all creation. We are the most intelligent, most sophisticated of the human species. But what we saw there could be evidence of lost ancient high technology, excuse me, lost ancient high technology of an order that we simply cannot comprehend.